James Coppin, World News Report today. Ladies and gentlemen, today is September 8th, 2025, and I nailed it again. I said the 9th, 10th. Well, we're actually into the 9th here. We have been, well, for over 5 hours here, as you can tell, UTC was. Now, you can see that, well, we're into the 9th. I warned against the 9th and 10th. Now, that was my initial warning. Remember, the 20th, 21st, 22nd is a much larger warning. Dutch Sense doesn't have a beat on me. No one does. I do more research. I've read more papers, etc. I told y'all this initially came in as a 6-8. A 6-8. And we'll see what other recording agencies have to say about it. Tsunami warning, a default depth of 10 kilometers. On Zealandia, the continent rising out of the ocean. You know what? I like being right, but gosh, this is getting too easy. It's every single time now. Jumping over from the USGS to volcanoesandearthquakes.com. Got some similar information. A 6-4, 10 kilometers. Of course, the USGS is going to be our main source of data here. Germans came in at 6-0. And the National Research Institute on Seismology came in at 6-4 on a default depth as well. All around Zealandia, the continent, a continent rising out of the ground. If y'all don't know what that is, maybe you should stick around the channel a little bit more. Look at that swarm up there on the peninsula of Russia, shall we? Now, I will go and disclose to y'all how I know what's going on beforehand. It's all about the positions of the planets. And it was all done by a professor named Nelson for RCA. And this was done in 1948. I've read the report, and YouTube took it down 6 ways from Sunday. It's always right on. He's able to actually predict between about 87 and 96% of earthquake, volcanic, and solar activity updates, depending on if the lower number, not using the gas giants, the higher number, 96%, using the gas giants. Okay? Now, here we are on the 9th proper UTC time. And how many times did I tell you all 9th, 10th, 20th, 21st, 22nd? Probably for the last 2 or 3 months. And this did come in as a 6-8 originally from the USGS. Get some more information. So, still on volcanodiscovery.com, or moving from volcanoesandearthquakes.com to volcanodiscovery.com, we see this was a sizable earthquake. Again, the main primary source, USGS, they downgraded it by 0.4, which would be 400 times stronger, by the way. It actually released 3.8 atomic bombs worth of energy, according to their latest measurements. I hope somebody's been watching along with me. All right, jumping over for the data from the same earthquake as reported by different agencies, starting out with the USGS, a 6-4 default depth. You can tell by the asterisks there, 10 kilometers. It says plus or minus 1.9 kilometers, which I've never seen before. We see that Germany came in at 6.04. We see that the International or Incorporated Research Institute for Seismology in a 6-4 default depth as well. All the 10-kilometer craps default depth. We see the Europeans come in at 6-4. Of course, the French, a 5-4-9. And, well, a default depth as well. Then, listen, Australia came in at a 6-4. They gave it just a 3.3 kilometers worth of depth just below the surface here. Very worrisome. A lot of magma pushing up towards the surface, and I would trust the Australian Seismic Agency more than the USGS, period. Then we have the Indonesians coming in at 6.2, 35 kilometers of depth. They're making a guess as well. Then we have the Italians coming in at 6.2, 9 kilometers worth of depth. Now let's jump over to the National Data Buoy Center because there was a tsunami warning and check the buoys, shall we? You know, I've never once seen a tsunami created. And again, I'm looking at all the buoys around Zealandia here. No tsunami created. We'll take a quick look at Zealandia before we go back. Do a recap. I'm going to go to Live Science for my map here. And the purple outline is what New Zealand's trying to claim as their, believe it or not, continental shelf, because they want the minerals associated with that continental shelf. Although New Zealand's not a continent, are they? They're an island. And New Caledonia is right here, and we can all see that the actual continent goes up here to Tonga Tofu and over to Papua New Guinea and comes right down, leaving a very narrow strait between Australia and Zealandia that's rising, right? Easy, easy, easy. You know what? I think I deserve a Super Chatter 10. I gave y'all the 9th and 10th, but I gave it to you a month ago. I gave you the 21st, or 20th, 21st, 22nd, and then of course people like all the rest of the tool jobs, Stefan and the rest of the losers, are going to try to follow me because they know how much more intelligent I am than they are. But you know what, guys? If y'all are here, y'all are where y'all need to be. It's absolutely epic to see this actually hit. Again, this came in as a 6.8 from the USGS, downgraded to a, well, 6.4, which is still 3.4 atomic bombs worth of energy released from this one single quake. And I'm thinking we're going to have more earthquake activity before the show is over during this small little planetary situation. I won't call it an alignment because that's not what we're doing. We are going live. You know what? All cups of coffee found in the description. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. I think I gave you this date over 30 days ago. God bless you guys. I do see additional earthquake and volcanic activity over the next 48 hours, as I indicated over a month ago. Y'all just wait till the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro World.